Building a marriage takes the right material, but these are not materials that can be purchased in a store. These materials have to be matured and cultivated on the inside. The Marriage Material Podcast Show was created to help listeners grow and mature in areas that are important to building and maintaining a healthy marriage and relationships. You are listening to the Marriage Material Podcast Show, and here's your host, Pastor Darius Good.
You're listening to the podcast show, Marriage Material. My name is Darius Good. I am the pastor of Bible Gospel Center, located in Hamden, Connecticut. Visit my website when you get a chance. It's dariusgood.com. That's DARIUSGOOD.com. You'll learn more information there regarding this podcast show, as well as other podcast shows that I have. I have one where I do my teachings in regards to the scriptures, whether it's a Sunday morning sermon or a Bible study where we're looking at particular subjects. You can check that out. It's called Good Treasure Podcast Show. And then we have a podcast show where we devote our time and energy to Christians who have experienced divorce. And so all that information is right there on the website. Once again, that's dariusgood.com. To learn more information regarding the church, visit the church's website at bgc.family. That's bgc.family. Also, check out my books. I have several books that are available that I've written. All that information, once again, is right there on my website, dariusgood.com. On today, you're listening to episode 3. It's entitled Bad Character, Bad Marriage. When it comes to dating, we put a lot of weight on physical appearance, our attraction to an individual. We place compatibility extremely high, the harmonious response to one another, our likes, our similarities, our areas of interest. But one area that is very, very important when it comes to marriage is character. Our definition of character is the way someone thinks, feels, and behaves. The way someone thinks, feels, and behaves. And so we spend time trying to learn an individual so that we can respond to them. But we need to spend more time learning an individual so we have a clear description of who they are and who they are not. I found people get angry with their partner because their partner is someone that they're not. And I often say, and when we do our counseling sessions, you can't get mad at that person when that's who they've never been. And sometimes they voice that. That's not the type of person I am. That's not my personality. So what did you think you had? What do you think you have? Who do you think this person is that you're now connecting with or connecting to? Because there's something wrong with your understanding of who this person is. The true character of an individual is very important. Is this person kind? Are they sensitive? Are they strong-willed? To be able to identify the nature of an individual, to be able to describe that with accuracy is very important of knowing who your partner is. Who are you married to? There was a song that came out many, many years ago by an artist named Tamia. The song was entitled, There's a Stranger in My House. And this is something that should never occur, though it occurs very often in relationships and in marriage. Who is this stranger? Who is this person? But didn't you date? Didn't you devote hours on the phone, different forms of communication, spending time together, going out to eat, doing different dating events? Like, what was the purpose? It's not about going out doing painting together or walking through the park or jogging together. The purpose of those encounters is to learn and to reveal. What are you revealing to this person about yourself? Now, as I said, we date wrong, and especially in America, we date wrong. So we spend all of our dating time trying not to expose our flaws and trying to cover our areas of weaknesses. But in marriage, my areas of weaknesses are really covered by my spouse. Her areas of strength, I lean on those areas of her strength because I might be weak in those areas. And so now the two of us working together, not degrading, not tearing each other down, but as you will hear me say over and over, Adam and Eve was naked and unashamed. They were exposed and they were not ashamed. In our case, we don't have to be ashamed of my weaknesses, my character flaws, but my spouse helps me and strengthens me in these particular areas. So when it comes to character is critical because the reason marriages fall apart is not because of the physical. Now, sometimes men say, the woman put on weight. And so in those cases, but understand, for the most part, the failure of marriages, and of course, let me say this, women can have the same complaint about their husbands as they begin to put on, large amounts of weights or things of this nature. But the real issue or problems within a marriage is really character issues. Things that I've heard people complain about regarding their spouses, whether they can't get the house work together as one to keep the house clean, whether it's a struggle within the actual relationship between the man and the woman. Many of this boils down to character. Are you lazy? Do you give your word and don't keep it? Are you combative? Are you the type that like to sweep things under the rug rather than deal with difficult issues? Are you difficult in the sense that it's very hard to compromise with you? When we have a major problem, is it very difficult to find solutions that we both can agree on? Are you a person that puts boundaries in place and then don't keep the boundaries? And these are things that are very, very important when it comes to marriages, because all these different aspects, all these different key elements go into producing a successful marriage. And when one of these elements begins to break, then the support that is holding the marriage together begins to crumble. So bad character will produce a bad marriage. Is the person you're spending time with, are they dishonest? Are they given to lying? Do they lie easily? Do they cheat? Do they steal? Are they consistently deceiving others? Are they selfish, always putting their own needs before the desires and needs of others? Are they vengeful? Do they exhibit vengeful or vindictive attitudes or behavior? Can they let things go? Or are they constantly holding a grudge against a person? Do they have empathy? Are they unresponsive to the emotions of others? Are they quick to disregard a person's pain or their suffering? Do they lack accountability? Are they unable or even unwilling to take responsibility for their actions? Are they resistant to change? Are they unwilling to compromise or even change their own views? Do they lack respect and constantly give disrespect to other people? Do they disrespect other people's beliefs? Do they disrespect their values or even disrespect their boundaries? Do they have manipulative behavior? Are they controlling? Do they manipulate others for their own personal gain? Is their manipulative behavior harmful to other people? Are they willing to damage relationships with other people? Do they pout when they don't get their way? Or do they withdraw? Do they give the silent treatment? Do they cause everyone to now walk on eggshells? Are they moody? Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. Sometimes mom will come in the house and the children don't know how to respond. We have to wait and see what mood mom is in. We have to wait and see what mood dad is in. Are they self-righteous? They never see fault or error in their decisions, in their thoughts, in their behavior. Are they always finding fault and error in other people's thoughts and behavior? Are you critical of everything? Always criticizing, always finding the negative in something. There's a major difference between constructive criticism and criticism. Constructive criticism means the person has your best interest in mind. They're giving you some help. They're giving suggestions that could be helpful. But there's a major difference when a person is just being critical. And when you begin to see these traits in a person, if you think they're going to change, or you think that's just how they are towards other people, they won't be this way towards me, then you will probably be in for a rude awakening at some point. It is impossible for people with bad character to make good marriages. It's impossible because this is who they are. This is their nature, and a person's nature does not change. I've learned people can alter behavior, and they can do it for a long period of time. I've watched people, I've experienced it, and I've seen people change for a year, 2 years, even 3 years, committed to a change. It's amazing the will of a person. We could be very strong-willed, but at the end of the day, when that person grew tired, they went back to being who they were. When they felt like this doesn't work, and this is not working to my benefit, and it doesn't help my interest, then the person goes back to being what they are. You're not marrying a body type. You're not marrying a suit or a dress. You're not marrying a uniform. You're not marrying a profession. You're marrying a person with a personality, with desires, with wants, with goals. And sometimes you end up with a person with no goals, and that's their goal. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be bothered. And that's very difficult in a marriage. I remember talking to one young lady who was engaged, and her fiance was working a part-time job at the time. And she herself had pursued college, got her degree, was working on her master's. And she struggled with the fact that the fiance was working a part-time job while she herself is pursuing to further herself in different areas, as well as, secure a secure job and eventually work her way up to some of her dreams and goals. And yet the fiance was very content working the part-time job. And I remember after about a year or better, she came to the understanding that she could not want it for him. She could not want better for him. That's something that he would have to want and have to pursue. And oftentimes we see this in relationships where people desire a certain drive, a certain level of ambition. And these are things that need to be measured while dating. If a person is not ambitious, you can't create that in them. You cannot create a passion in a person, because even though there's a like or desire to do certain things or accomplish certain things, they have to walk the steps. They have to move their own feet. What do they say? You could bring a horse to water, but you cannot make the horse drink. And so once again, I say, don't ignore the red flags. Do red flags mean you shouldn't marry the person? No. But it does mean you need to stop and really consider what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and you need to press for truth. Truth is very important, especially when it comes to understanding the truth of someone's character, the truth of their nature. Dating is very, very important. It's not good times and hanging out. It's learning a person. And this is something I teach on even at church. Fellowship, intimacy. And intimacy does not mean just physical intimacy. We're talking about emotional intimacy. Because a relationship built solely on physical intimacy is not going to last. So dating is really about really knowing a person. And this is what's important when it comes to building a relationship and building a marriage, a covenant with another person. Partnership. How do you partner with somebody you don't know? And so people won't enter into business with somebody they don't know. They're going to do their research. They're going to do their homework. But it's funny how when it comes to marriage, we do very, very little homework. We do very little research when it comes to this matter. And what's funny is you might even say, well, I did my research when I met them. Yeah, but are you doing research now that you're getting to know them? Very important. Thank you for joining us on today. You're listening to episode number 3, Bad Character, Bad Marriage. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Visit my website, dariusgood.com. And I'll leave you with this African proverb. It says, character is like pregnancy. It cannot be hidden forever. Until next time, be blessed.
You have been listening to the Marriage Material Podcast Show with your host, Darius Good. This was a Good Treasure Ministries production. Darius is a senior pastor of Bible Gospel Center and the author of the book, Soul Ties. To learn more about this book and other books written by Darius, or to listen to other episodes, visit our website today at dariusgood.com. Please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast show. And until the next time, be blessed.